Hello, students. Welcome. How are you guys? Long time no see for some of you. Okay, so we're going to be talking about how to listen and how to really catch fast spoken English, especially questions. Okay, so you might listen to my lessons and you can hear me really well. Like you can catch what I say. That is because I purposely talk very clearly. I enunciate what I say, and I don't really talk that quickly. Okay. But when you're talking to a native speaker who might not know that you are an English learner, right? So if you go to America, for example, there's not one way that Americans look. So they might just assume you live in America and you are American. So they start talking to you really fast. They don't realize that you're not a native speaker. So we're going to try and work on how to catch these really quick questions that people ask when you talk to somebody. Okay, welcome everyone. It's good to see you. Hello, hello. Yeah, and please tell me where you're watching from. I see a lot of people from Egypt, Myanmar, Sudan. Welcome, Afghanistan. Hello, hello. Okay, so we're going to get into the lesson, but first, if you guys haven't yet, please like and subscribe to me on YouTube. You can like me on Facebook, follow me on TikTok, and I have a website. Actually, I have a pronunciation course on my website. So it's a video course, it's for premium members. But if you would like to have access to that course and a bunch of PDFs, you can join my courses as well. I'd love to have you there. Okay, so let's get into the lesson. All right. So, understanding native speakers, especially when they ask you questions. So, I know when I was learning Japanese, I could understand, conversational Japanese, but when I came to Japan and somebody asked me a question, like on the street, I would freeze because it seemed to me that they were talking really fast. Um, that probably wasn't the case, but I froze, right? I panicked. So hopefully, I'm going to help you not panic and be able to answer these questions and ask these questions as well. Okay, so we have some questions here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have 5 questions. All right. So the first one, if you read this in a textbook or your teacher asks you, you might hear or say it very clearly, right? What are you doing? What are you doing? However, naturally, when we speak, we don't put spaces between each word. Okay? If we talked like that, it would be very easy to understand, but we usually don't. Okay? So instead of saying, "What are you doing?" we sometimes say, "What are you doing? What are you doing?" Okay? So if you go to the United States and somebody says, "What are you doing?" that means, "What are you doing?" So you can see here, what are. You can see here that the T becomes a D. What are. And the word you, it takes a lot of effort to say you. So when we talk really fast, we get very lazy. So instead of saying you, we're going to pronounce it as ya. What are ya? What are ya? What are ya? Okay, this is very common almost for all of the times we say you, it's going to change to ya. So, for example, you know what I'm saying? We're going to say, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Okay? We also have one other way. Oh, sorry, I forgot to talk about doing. Doing. Whenever we have a word that ends in ing, doing, doing. The ing has a kind of nasally sound, ing. But when we're talking very quickly, we skip the nasal sound and we just say doing, in. Okay? How's it going? What are you doing? Okay? Usually the doing, the ing is going to be cut and we're going to say doing, doing. Okay? What are you doing? What are you doing? We have one other way that we could say this question. And that is, what you doing? What you doing? So it gets even shorter. So originally, what are you doing? Becomes, what are you doing? Becomes, what you doing? What you doing? Okay, whatcha, whatcha. So both of these, what are you doing and what you doing, are very, very common. Very, very common. So the what are you becomes whatcha, whatcha. And then the verb we have doing, just take off the G, doing. Okay? Very good. Let's try the next one. What do you know? What do you know? How can we say that as a native speaker? How would a native speaker ask this question? Well, we might say, what do you know? What do you know? What are ya? What are ya? Okay, so again, this T here kind of just disappears because we already have a D here. So this kind of becomes one sound. And then you'll notice the word do and you. Again, the oo sound, we need a lot of stress around our lips. Ooh, do, you. But we hate to do that in at least American English. We like to be lazy, so we don't like to ooh. We don't like to make this shape, ooh. So it becomes just a drop. Our jaw just drops down. Da, ya. Okay? So this becomes what ya, what ya, what ya, what do you know? What do you know? So this last word is going to usually stay pretty clear, okay? Because it's like the main part of the sentence, right? What do you know? What do you know? Okay, what do you know? What do you know? All right, let's try the next one. Where did you go? Where did you go? So you probably know by now that the word you, we don't like to say as ooh, right? So we're going to change it. But let's see how this is all going to sound all together. Okay? So did you, this is going to become ja. Very easy, right? Ja. Did you, did ya, did ya? Okay, so we're going to say, where'd you go? Where'd you go? Hey, where'd you go? I didn't see you at the party. Where'd you go? Okay, so if somebody asks you this in like the United States, for example, and you've never heard somebody say, where'd you go? You might freeze, right? You might panic. What are you asking? I'm not sure exactly what you said. Okay, but where did you go? We could say, where'd you go? Where'd you go? All right, very good. So this go pretty much stays the same. Where'd you go? Where'd you go? Okay, next one. What did you do? What did you do? So before, I mentioned that the oo sound, you, do, we don't like to say it really. We like to just drop our ja. But when it comes at the end of a question or a sentence, we usually keep it the way it's supposed to be. So no, go. So let's check this one. All right. So what did you becomes wajah. Wajah. What did you? What did you? Wajah. 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 So this you becomes and connected with the didja, didja becomes wajah, wajah. Okay? What'd you do? What'd you do? So I often ask my students, what'd you do on the weekend? What'd you do on the weekend? Okay? What'd ya do? So what'd ya means what did you? What did you? What'd ya? Okay? So if I ask you, what'd you do on the weekend? You might say, oh, I went fishing, or I studied English, I went to a movie. So please, in the comments, tell me, what'd you do on the weekend? What'd you do? Let me know what you did. Okay? Then the last one, why did he eat? I don't know, maybe we're going to dinner. We want to know, why did he eat? Why did he eat? We're going to dinner. Why did he eat? So we're going to say, why'd he eat? It sounds very funny, but why'd he eat? Why'd he eat? Why'd he eat? So this why is going to stay pretty clear. Why? And then did he? Why did he? So you might know that when we have the word he or them, we kind of eliminate the first letter. So he often becomes just E. Why did he becomes why'd Why'd he do that? And then why'd he eat? But I have this in my pronunciation course on my website. I'll have a very in-depth explanation about American T sounds. But in America, the T sometimes disappears, okay? And in this case, this T is going to kind of disappear. It's not completely gone because our tongue still goes to the same position as it would when we pronounce a T, but we just hold it, okay? Why'd eat? You don't hear the eat. You don't hear the t sound. Why'd he eat? Why'd he eat? Why'd he eat? Hey, we're going to a restaurant. Why'd he eat? Okay? So that one is very tricky. I think that if somebody said that to you, it might take you a minute to understand what they're asking. Why'd he eat? Why'd he eat? Okay? Very good. So we have some questions. Madam, can we use these short words in writing skill like essay or story? So the way that I have these written in the red, we typically don't write them out. This is only for speaking. So I would not recommend you writing them for an essay or for a test. This is strictly for speaking. This will help you with speaking and listening. But please, even though we write it this way, we might say it the other ways, right? We'll write it down this way, but we'll pronounce it this way. You might see, like if you text people, if you're texting your friends or like online when you're talking with people in a very casual way, you might see whatcha, and a lot of times doing, going. We often cut off the G if it's a casual conversation, especially online. But for more formal things, like if you're writing an email, if you're writing an essay, stick to the proper way of spelling. But just know that this way of talking is very normal, and it's just the fast way that we talk. Okay? Ah, is it slang? So, no, it is not slang. This is just how a typical or normal American would speak. What'd you do? Where'd you go? So, it's not slang at all. Maybe your teacher might say it, your boss might talk like this, your family might talk like this. So, know that it is not slang, but it is just the way we talk when we're talking really fast. So you will, if you're talking to a native speaker, very, very rarely will they pronounce every single word. What are you doing? Probably they're not going to talk like that. They're going to say, "What are you doing? What are you doing?" Or "What you doing? What you doing?" Okay? Very good. Well, I hope that this was a very uh, informational lesson for you. I hope you could learn a lot. Thank you guys so much for watching today's lesson. Again, I have a course out on my website for pronunciation, especially understanding American pronunciation. There's some little tricks that is unique to North American English. So you can learn that on my website if you join my courses. I also have some blogs on my website. So if you want to see some lessons that are written out, you can check them on my website. You can make a free account as well. You'll get some PDFs and some other goodies that I have planned for you. Okay, thank you guys so much for watching. I will be back again with a new lesson very, very soon. So thank you so much. And don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel. Also, I would really appreciate it. Like me on Facebook, follow me on TikTok, all the things. Okay, thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you very soon. Bye, everyone.